Hello, users, and welcome to Sunday Runday, the 138th. And I've got my blanket wrapped around me because I'm cold. It's approximately 6 degrees where I am at this moment. So, I'm trying to stay alive. And, in the effort of trying to stay alive, I thought I would play Eminem Shell Shocked. So, the reason why I'm playing this game is actually a little interesting. A few days ago, I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I found out that there's some cringer, and I say this with the most kindness, who is hosting some speedrun tournament and has selected this game to be featured in the tournament. And I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would ever play this game and then also wish to compel others to do so. I personally feel like there's some sort of law that's being violated there. But either way, I've got, I entered the Discord and there's a bunch of people talking about this game. And I never thought I would see that happen. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just pop it in for the next Sunday Runday. It sounds fun. And, so now I'm doing that. Yeah, this game is not good. It is, it's not good. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, if you've seen me play this game before, then there's no reason to watch this unless you just want to take a trip down memory lane, which is this lane right here, as opposed to this lane. Oh, it's not that lane, actually. Well, I guess you can argue it is that lane, because my memories are very bad. Either way, Eminem Shell Shocked. Let me talk about it. What do we have here? It is a port-ish asterisk of a PC game called Eminem's The Lost Formulas. And The Lost Formulas was kind of had like educational components to it. So what they did was they removed all the educational components because fuck that shit, am I right? And then they just ported it over to the PlayStation. And this game is not good, but clearly you can probably have seen that already. It's not good. And it's very bad for you. Basically, so these first few levels are Yellow. Yellow is the playable character just trying to get to the Eminem formula. And I think this game is just really funny in how bad it is. It's got a lot of fucking really good humor to it. And then it's also just downright horrendous. Need to wash my mouth out. But yeah, so this game, the first 3 levels are driving levels, and then you actually get to like a real video game, like platformer levels, and they're as bad as you'd expect. This game basically plays like Crash Bandicoot, if somehow that game were worse, and I mean this on a technical level. Crash Bandicoot games they're really, really poorly made. Like hitboxes don't function properly. Like walking is awkward. Like there's lots of like fall through the floor moments and stuff in those games. On a technical level, those games aren't too impressive. And this game is somehow even worse than that. So you'll see that when we get there. Really, the thing about this game is it starts off like what do I do here? Like what am I supposed to talk about? I just drive in a straight line? Like really, what am I supposed to say about this? I don't know. For whatever reason, you start bouncing here. It's really cool. You just start bouncing around because that's just how things work. Alright, so one more of these levels. The thing I do like about these levels are they just make no sense and they're really crazy and chaotic. Like there's just motorcycles flying around, trucks crashing into the things. In this level, we're gonna see giant cows just existing because why not? I mean, the thing is, you can make the argument that like, okay, I'm an Eminem. Is Yellow like the size of a person? Like, if so, then really, like, what is happening here? That cow is as big as the entire fucking street. What is like, the sense of scale here is just bizarre. It's truly bizarre. And that's one thing I do like about this game. It's got a good sense of humor. I feel like the game knows how bad it is, and it just goes all out, which I can appreciate it. I also love the idea of a biker gang, like, trying to knock an Eminem off the road. Like as if this is like a private death squad that like someone hired to like take out Yellow, you know what I mean? Like it's truly bizarre. It's truly bizarre. This is a bizarre video game. In a lot of ways it just shouldn't exist, but it does. And as a result, I've got like 6 copies of it. I've got 1 sealed copy NTSC. I've got 1 sealed copy in PAL. I've got 1 loose copy in PAL. And then I've got 2 copies in NTSC. So, anyway, we've made it to the place. I would watch all the cutscenes, but maybe another time. It's not my cup, by the way. Alright, so now you just, if you haven't seen this game before, you're now finally gonna see just how you're gonna see, okay? So like I said, this is basically Crash Bandicoot, except somehow without any of the good parts. Like, it's not necessarily Crash Bandicoot, but worse. It's Crash Bandicoot without any of the good parts. Because Crash Bandicoot games, they're fun. You know, like, the music is, like, really, like, fast-paced. It gets you, you know, in the mood. The gameplay, you know, like, the level design, it works really well. Like, when you crash into things, it's fun to watch them, like, spin around and fly off the level. It's goofy, and it's goofy in a good way. This game is just, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. I don't know any other word that can accurately sum up this game other than bizarre. It is truly and remarkably bizarre. So basically, these crates will give you different amounts of M&Ms, and then some of them have items in them. As far as I understand, what the items are completely consistent. So that means it's not like a random item box. It's just if it's a hat, a hard hat, which basically lets you take an extra hit. You know, it's kind of like the mask equivalent. There's speed shoes, which make you go fast, though there's only like 2 of those in the whole game, which is really sad. And then there's this spring pointy thing that we saw in the car level, which allowed us to jump over that cliff. They all have their uses, so you'll be seeing more of them later. This game is truly bizarre. I want to play more of the Eminem games because I haven't played any other Eminem game except this one, and I do wonder if the other ones are as, like, insane, and I mean that in, like, a clinical sense, as this one. It's not my cup, by the way. I do like how the music starts on the loading screen. Let's talk about the good things. I like how the music starts on the loading screen. I like that in general. I hate, like, bland loading screens, which most games just have, like, a loading screen with, like, maybe a progress bar, and that's it. This one, actually, the progress bar is kind of cool looking. It's, like, random M&Ms clomping on each other. It's cool. I'll give it that. The music starts, it gets you in the mood, and when the music changes, which it changes every 3 levels, basically every 3 levels comprise a set, or, is that the right word? Compose? What word am I thinking of? Every 3 levels are a set, and then you go to a new area, and then every new area's got a new tune, so the song changes every 3 levels, essentially. That thing is a little hard to get on top of. We're gonna get speed shoes right here. Whoops. And of course, when I say we, I mean me, as I'm the one playing the game, and you are not playing the game. Unless you're playing the game alongside me, which, I mean, hey, it's possible. I might advertise in the Eminem's, like a tournament channel, like, hey y'all, I made informative commentary! Little tutorial! This is a tutorial! I mean, it might as well be a tutorial. Like, what's stopping this from being a tutorial? Like, you just watch and this is what you're supposed to do. I'll explain how the tricks work, so yeah, sure, this is a tutorial. Hello everyone and welcome. This is gonna be my title for the video. Eminem Shell-Shocked Tutorial. So this boss here, actually, here we go. This is a perfect time to start the tutelage. So you can actually skip this boss, and I'm going to show you how. you want to get on the very far left, like the anarchist left of those platforms, and then jump at the very last second, like the very last bit, and then you'll make it over there, and you can just skip fighting the boss. It's kind of tough. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And that's how it works. So this is officially a tutorial. To any aspiring speedrunners, welcome. Welcome. I'm getting warmed up now, so I'm going to take my blanket off. Let's get serious. Oh, shit. Alright, so hopefully you like that skit. That was planned. That was a planned skit. You know, the whole let's get serious, and then the game starts and I'm not holding the... I thought that was pretty funny. Give me a like and a subscribe. So one thing about this game that can be a little bit tricky is sometimes you'll just get hit for no reason, and then there's also a lot of just random ass elements of the game that will just murder you for literally no reason. And you'll be seeing those a little bit more later when I die, randomly. I think this level's the one I'm thinking of, where there's just like parts of the ground. You know, have you ever played when you were a kid, The Floor is Lava? You know, like where you just like try to jump from a couch to like a chair, and then like wind up smashing your face into like a lamp or something, and then like getting seriously injured. If you haven't, then you're probably more well-adjusted than I am. But basically, we're gonna have a section of, I think it's this level, or maybe one of the, yeah, it's this level. We're gonna have a section of the level where the floor is lava, and it's not as hard as, you know, it's harder than it would seem, because one, why is the floor lava? And then two, you can kind of clip into these boxes and just fall through them sometimes. So you gotta make sure that you don't do that. So right here, you just want to kind of hold up. You don't want to hit left or right, you just want to hold up. As soon as you bounce off of that first crate, you just want to hold up. Because if you don't, the chances of you landing through the box goes way harder. Or way more. You will literally just go through the box instead of bouncing off of it and then die because the floor is lava. So I got it there. Like, the problem is just hitting the first one, because then you have to, like, angle it correctly and have to make sure you don't go through the box. But again, once you hit the first box, you can just hold up and you're good to go. And then once you know, get to the end of that little chain, then you adjust your player. So this is a tutorial. I wasn't expecting this to be a tutorial, but this way I can get some extra views. Say like, hey y'all, I'm gonna show you a tutorial. Welcome. So this level, first of all, this level sucks cock. And not in the good way. Like, in the really bad way. Like, the guy comes down your throat without any warning, and then, like, you fucking die. That kind of way. I mean, it can be good, but let's just imagine it's bad for a moment, because I'm trying to think of a way to make sucking cock a bad thing. Which, you know, it's not a bad thing, but it's just kind of in my vernacular as being a bad thing, and you know, every time I say that I have to kind of add stipulations and like delineate the differences between good and bad cocksucking. So now that I've got that out of the way, I think the level's almost over. This area's... I like how you can see the platforms down below. One thing I will say about this game that I like is that the levels are really busy. There's lots of things going on in the background, lots of machines moving, boxes falling. It really is a busy looking game. Also, this isn't my cup. I have not seen Detective Pikachu. Alright, so this level's basically an auto-scroller. As soon as you start moving, you just want to hold down and jump as soon as you can. If you're a little slow, you can desync the cycles, meaning the guy will not hit like that, for example, and then you want to adjust it a bit. And when you want to adjust it, it can get a little annoying. I've had it before where when you kill the boss, you don't teleport. So what you want to do is when the screen is fading to white, you don't want to touch any button. Because I think that if you touch a button, you like walk, like a teleport maybe spawns on you, or I don't know how it works, but if you move around when the white is flashing on, there's a chance for you to not teleport, and then the game will break. You'll have to like jump off the cliff and reload the level. Or I guess the conveyor belt. So the levels are going to start getting a little bit more interesting. I should have noted before that there was a secret teleporter I went into with the speed shoes in an earlier level. There's going to be more secret and then non-secret teleporters. Jesus fucking Christ. One thing I love about this game is every time you get killed, yellow says, oops, uh-oh. And when I was first learning how to play this game, you know, like when you die a lot, which you will die a lot before you get used to it, you're going to be hearing oops, uh-oh a lot, and it's fucking hilarious. So I might not be laughing now, but trust me, I had my fair share of laughs. Right here, you want to start...
Oops. Uh-oh.
I've never seen that before. Holy shit. I just went through the floor. I just went through the floor. What the hell? That was epic. Holy shit. Alright, let's try that again. When you get to this point, you want to hold the spin so that you destroy those things. You want to do that here. You want to make you want to practice that section. Because the chances of you hitting something or like landing on an enemy and not spinning to destroy it, you just gotta know when the things are coming. It's not that difficult, but with the speed shoes, you don't have that much time to plan ahead. My eyeball itches a little bit, so I'm gonna have to scratch that, but I'm playing the game right now and I'm really trying not to fail because this is a tutorial. I can't fuck up in a tutorial. Right here, you just want to hold up. You don't really need to wait for the cycles. You just hold up. And you should make it. Chances are, like, the cycles can maybe be fucked up. You don't want to get on the conveyor belt, you just want to walk here, because then you don't have to deal with the enemies. And then you want to do the same thing right here.
Oops.
Just kidding.
Oh.
You want to do the... Fuck. You want to do the same thing right there. You walk on the very left, and then you don't have to deal with the candy colored, like the coating. It'll, like, drip, but then it won't hit you because of the way the hitboxes work. So, little fun fact. Also, I had a chance to scratch my eyeball during that death, and I didn't. Right here, you definitely have to play this a little bit interestingly. And then right here, you don't need to go down those platforms. You can just run right over. Yeah, this is a tutorial. Fuck yes. This is not too bad, actually. Oh, I'm warming up. My coffee's cold, but I'm warming up. I should have put it in the microwave before starting this. I'm drinking cold-ass coffee. I don't dislike cold coffee, but it is cold. Right here, you want to walk up here, then you don't have to worry about the cycles. And there's going to be... no, never mind. I forgot. I think that, yeah, there's going to be a teleporter. Yeah, right here. You want to get that, and then jump down here, get this teleporter. And then watch the nitro boxes, and then get that teleporter, and that skips a lot of areas, so that's faster. So, because this is a tutorial, I gotta tell you, make it explicit. That's what you want to do.
Oops.
You want to go...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you want to go a little bit further onto the edge. Alright, I'm gonna cut the corners. These cycles, you shouldn't really worry about them, but, you know... I don't know if I've ever gotten killed there. I probably have, but it's not in my conscious memory. Which is probably for the best, because if it were, I'd probably be having like a fucking panic attack right now. You don't need to get that checkpoint. You can save like 0.1 second if you want to just go hard, because the exit's right here. So as long as you don't fuck up between that checkpoint and the exit, I go for it, because, you know, I haven't actually played this game in like fucking 6 months. This game sucks. It really does. My mouth is dry. So there is a trick for this boss fight to skip it, but it's really awkward and doesn't really work. So I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. You want to watch out, because during that when he's coming forward, when they're coming forward.
Oops.
Yeah, the hitbox extends forward a little bit. So you want to make sure you jump in time. So you want to do that as soon as it starts sticking the thing out. And then you want to do that now, and then run over. And I mistimed that. I mistimed it again because I'm a fucking idiot. You should kill it by the time it hits here, but if you suck cock, and if for whatever reason that's somehow a bad thing, then it's not a hard fight. In my experience, doing the glitch that gets you through that gate where you just jump at it and hope it clips you through, in my experience, oftentimes it'll be slower than just doing the boss fight. So I don't really know how to, maybe there's a strategy to it, I don't know. But when that was discovered, I fucked around with it for like an hour, because yeah, I have no fucking life. And I just came up with the fact that just doing the boss fight, as long as you get it correctly, it's just about as fast. But you know, I fucked it up there because I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a brain dead motherfucker. I'm gonna like post this in like the Eminem's Discord and like, hey y'all, this is a tutorial, and then people are gonna like watch the video and it's just gonna be me swearing, and it's gonna like offend. I know this is gonna like, people are gonna think, oh no, so uncouth. I'm very uncouth. If you just hop down there, it'll actually, the way that the game works is you'll just fall through the floor. So you have to actually go down there manually. You can maybe go down there one loaded box earlier, but there's like, I've had it fuck up for me, so I just play it safe there. Right there, I kill myself here because that makes the cycles way better. This cycle in particular. That cycle with that TNT box, or that nitro box, that teleporter I just went into, it has a chance to not teleport you. You can stand on it and then nothing happens. I've had that happen like a solid 5 or 6 times. It's really fucked up. This game sucks. It's just bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. Like, I don't know why or how or when or what, but it's really fucking bad. But it really is the perfect kind of bad, because it's playable. You know, it's actually challenging. Like, there's not that much, like, in fact, I don't think there is any RNG in this game. Like, RNG in, like, the literal sense. There's RNG in the sense that the game can just, like, break at any fucking moment. Like, earlier I just went through the fucking floor, because why not? There's a checkpoint here. You can get it if you don't have confidence in yourself. I don't have confidence in myself. I have very low self-esteem, but I'm just going for it anyway. You get a hard hat, so, like, you'd have to fuck up twice, and, I mean, you know? Or you can just, like, break through the nitro that falls, like I did. One of my favorite things is that there's no idle animation in this game. Like, hello? Yeah, it kind of like hopped me up there, and then it didn't start the camera scroll. There's a lot of moments in this game where that can happen. Like, the game literally can just break at any moment. At any fucking moment. Yeah, these are every other. There's a nitro box. Just falls on down. Well, it's every other, and then it's not every other. I've had that teleporter not work before as well. It only happened once, but it has happened, so it is a thing, it is possible. Throwing that out there for the record, as well as 5 the record. I thought that would be way funnier, and then it came out of my mouth, and then I realized I'm a fucking moron. So yeah, this section, you know, you just go ahead and do it. The thing about checkpoints is typically you don't need to land on them, you just need to kind of be in their airspace. Right there, you want to just hit that guy. They look scary, but you just hit them. But checkpoints sometimes don't work, so you just have to be, it's one of those things that you just get a feel for. That teleporter, I don't remember if it's ever broken for me, but I know my immediate recollection, it hasn't, but it might have. You just want to spin here. It's possible that the cycle will be desynced and you don't need to spin, but you just want to spin because you don't lose time, and you're better safe than sorry. Right there. Anytime you see one of these things, I don't really know what they are, to be honest. It's just, I really don't know what that is. But every time you see one, you just want to spin it just because. You don't want to jump into it. You want to make sure if you spin it, it's at the lowest possible point of like the little tentacles that extend. You want to do that, because if it's not, then you might die. Change the webcam position. Okay, let's see. So this boss level is, you know, it's like the other boss with the TNT, where you just blow up the TNT as it follows you. It's like that, in the sense that it's just a level and there's no actual real fight. You just do the level and this guy chases you, but if you do the level correctly, you shouldn't, you know, really worry about that. You can make the jumps without landing on the pipes, but you do have to do a really good jump, and I don't want to fuck around, so. But you can do it. If you want to, you can. But you shouldn't want to. You really just should not want to. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this game, which is like counter to everything that I've said before. Like, this game it's a good speed game. It checks almost every box of being a good speed game. It's bad, but it's playable. It's bad but playable. It's funny. It's got music that's not actually terrible. And it's, you know, it's less than an hour. And really, like, like the meme, every like minute that goes by, the meme gets less and less interesting. I would say like a 30-minute mark is probably like peak for like bad games with good speed games. Like, there's bad games that are like fun to play for speedrunning, but I wouldn't classify them as good speed games. Like Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, Arthur Ready to Race. Like, those games are like, they're pretty terrible, but they're really not that good for speedrunning. It's just they're short, and you might as well, why not, you know? It's like 15 minutes to show off a really funny, terrible game, so why not? Whereas this game, you like, it's a good speed game. Like, I've put actual time and effort. That sounded a lot better in my head than it did out loud as well. I put actual time and effort. Holy hell. Anyway, without wanting to further make myself suicidal, it's a good speed game. I really can't deny it. Alright, this level you want to just do what I'm doing. Oh. Yeah, do what I'm doing right now. Not that part. That was like, if you weren't doing what I was doing, that's what would happen. So you want to make sure you're doing what I'm doing, because, you know, again, if not, that's gonna happen. So, just saying, you want to be extra safe. It's a tutorial, so I have to show you the things that can happen. This isn't like, you know, it's not like I'm actually trying to play the game and I just made a mistake. That's not what happened. I'm just being a good teacher. I'm teaching. This is a class on... The joke ends there. I can't think of anything. So right here, you want to kind of move as soon as this thing starts going up. You can run ahead of it, but if you run ahead of it, you need to know what you're doing. I'd recommend practicing it. You can also run ahead of this one, but it's really fucking tight. So I normally just wait for that to blow up. And this one too, you can wait for it to blow up, or you can just run past. That one's a lot larger of a window to get past without you getting killed in the explosion. Those enemies right there, those things, they're indestructible. And also, I just barely missed that fucking cycle. You might be thinking, oh, you can jump on the boxes! Ha ha ha! No, you can't. See? It's a fucking joke. This game is a joke. Okay. I mean, these levels, the more you play them, the easier they get.
Oops. Uh-oh.
So these levels, like, the more you play them, the easier they get. You know what I mean? Like, you can fuck up. You know, like, I fell through the floor earlier. I've never seen that happen before. You know, like, this game will always keep you surprised. Up until, like, I would say, my PB is 45:08, right? I would say this game is fun up until you get to, like, maybe the 47, maybe 48-minute mark. Once you get to that point, it's just, like, grinding until you just don't die. And you're probably gonna fucking die. Those cycles there with the nitro boxes that I died on, I don't really know how they work. Like, I don't know if there's a pattern to it, or if they just spit them out kind of randomly or semi-randomly. I don't know. You can jump in between nitro boxes, but it's super tight. So normally I just wait for the regular box. I tried to risk it there. It did not pay off. But again, it's a tutorial. I'm showing you the things that you can do. And so these are rookie mistakes. And, you know, I'm not a rookie. I've been there. I'm a seasoned warrior. I am a seasoned motherfucking veteran of... Jesus. Right there, you can run ahead of that. Jesus fucking Christ. God. I hate this game. You can run ahead of that thing. You just it's one of those things where it's worth doing because it's a large enough window that it's just kind of skill, you know? You don't really...
Oops. Uh-oh.
I don't know what just happened there. I think I was a little bit too much into the foreground, but I don't know, actually. I really don't. That was bizarre. So, there's one thing about this game that's super bizarre, and that's the way that it deals with momentum. The momentum in this game, it carries in such a bizarre fashion. Like, when you jump off of like a conveyor belt, you keep the momentum. Also, I believe there's a glitch in this level that makes you fly like infinitely. If I remember correctly, I think it's this level. I don't really know how to do it. Fuck me. But if you hit TNT in a certain way with a hard hat, you can just fly, like rolling in midair infinitely. But you do it super slowly. So it's not like it's actually useful for a speed run because it's slower than walking. Yeah, it is this level. It is this level because I recognize this area. The thing about it that is semi-cool though is that it skips having to wait for these cycles. So like it is slower. I've never really done a side-by-side timing. That thing is really annoying. You just want to jump all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And also again, whenever you're on one of these conveyor belts, you want to kind of be on it and you want to jump on it because again, the way it conserves momentum is that like you don't really lose speed if you're over the conveyor belt, but you do gain speed. It's really strange. So you want to jump on conveyor belts whenever possible. A lot of the box, like whenever there's a bunch of boxes like this, there's like a very specific way to go about it. So just do what I do, unless it kills me. Then that's a rookie mistake, and you're not a rookie. You're fucking epic. You're an epic gamer, right? Like you know what's up. You know, all right, I'm gonna play Eminem Shell Shocked. Clearly, I know what's up. I've got this in the bag. Like it's in the bag. You know what I mean? Like it's literally. Like, it's in the bag, right? Like, you know? It's in the fucking bag. I thought that would be funny. This is the same every time, it's just an auto-scroller. I hope that was funny. I just kind of came up with that. I'm good at improv. I'm an improvisational improviser. I thought that was funny. Maybe you disagree, but hey. So here's the thing with this level. I'm going to spend this auto-scrolling time telling you what not to do. You want to make sure that you're on the right button. Like by the time that the very tip top of that like frontal panel hits, because the hitbox does not make sense with depth perception. You would think, oh, the thing in front of me is like it's in. Fuck. You can also get stuck when walking between buttons, like there. If you're too far forward, you can get stuck. I was trying to demonstrate it again, but it's kind of semi-random. I don't fucking know. This game sucks. You just, like, this level feels like it would be super easy, but it's actually really frustrating, and, like, it makes you just want to fucking sweat your fucking face off. Because there's so many things that can just go wrong. So you'd think, again, this front panel is like upward and therefore not part of the hitbox. But no, it kind of is. You want to make sure you're on the right button. It's easier to just memorize it. If you want to get a notepad and just like write it out or whatever, like feel free. I've never done that. I just kind of think I know what I'm doing and then I go from there. If you want, you can just stand in the middle in between each box. That way, you know, the chances of you, like if you're on gray and it's a TNT, then you know you walk less. And you want to be again as far in, like downward. This is what that means. You want to be as far downward as possible, so that you don't accidentally walk into an invisible wall for some reason and then end up killing yourself. It's a lot more frustrating than it needs to be. Like again, I don't. It's you know what I mean. So the next 3 levels are the hardest levels in the game, I would say. Well, the next 6 levels are the hardest levels in the game, but these 3 have their own brand of like pure stupidity. But they have one of the best songs in the game. It's just like you gotta love it. And then it's got an emphasis on obnoxious. Emphasis on noxious. emphasis on noxious. It's an obnoxious sound effect of this forklift thing. So again, this is a do what I do thing. There's a very specific thing. Like a lot of these patterns, there's some with multiple ways to go about it, but a lot of these patterns you just need to know what to do, and it's a trial and error thing. This is really just purely trial and error in a lot of areas. So just do what I do. For those, you know, that don't know what to do, this is what you do. I don't know how else to spice that sentence up, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So these like green robots will basically just appear out of thin air sometimes, and you just want to do what I do. Those moving platforms that go side to side, never worry about them. Never worry about them. You will, no matter what, never fall through those holes. You want to go to the left here. Go right between those guys. But yeah, those moving platform things you will never fall through. You'll just start falling, like I'll show you right here. Well, never mind. You'll start falling, but then clip into the other side, so you don't have to worry about falling through. That literally is, it's like a failed game mechanic. Like, they tried to like make that an actual mechanic, but they failed. So the platform literally means nothing. I guess if you're going as slow as possible and zigzagging, then maybe you'll fall through, I guess. But if you're going straight forward, you're not going to fall through. Again, right here, you just want to do what I'm doing. Anytime you see these green robots, chances are there's like one actual way to go about it. The second level here is much more difficult. I like how the music carries through. You gotta jam out while you can before the noise starts. Now it's ruined. So again, you want to go about this and just do what I'm doing. I'm trying to explain this in a way that is explainable audibly, but really just, you need to use your eyeballs. If you're a blind player, in the sense of like you're literally blind and not like you're playing for the first time, you know, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. I really wish I could, but I can't. Alright, check this out. Oh, never mind. Yeah, see, even if I'm trying to fail, like, the platform just moves so fast anyway. Right here, you want to do exactly what I'm doing. That one's kind of tight. Sometimes you'll run next to these checkpoints and not trigger them. You do want to get the checkpoints whenever you can, because if you die, you don't want to go all the way. This is so fast that, like, I don't know. Right here, there's going to be just do what I'm doing. Right there. You just got to do what I'm doing. Again, there might be other ways to go about it, but a lot of these, there's like, you just have to do something very specifically. And of course, these gray blocks, you want to, oh, there you go. Oh. I was trying to show the platform thing. I got distracted. Of course, the gray blocks and the green blocks you want to avoid. See, this was a learning moment. This is for you to learn. I'm going to sneeze, by the way. Yeah, you don't want to hit the green things or the gray things. They will kill you instantly. And there's no hard hats in this level, and if there were, I don't even think they would work. Also, I've been drinking too much coffee, and now my chest hurts a little bit. I'm gonna think my fucking heart's gonna explode. Right here, you just want to do what I'm doing. Chances are, if you go for that checkpoint, you will die, but you'll get the checkpoint. So that's like a risk, you know, it's one of those things, if you want the checkpoint, you have to pay for it kind of thing. If you don't have confidence in yourself, which again, I don't, so I shouldn't be doing this right now. This is really horrifying. I'm actually like freaking the fuck out on the inside. Right here, you want to do what I'm doing. That thing will literally despawn. Yeah, that's how you actually do it. You want to like go so far to the right, like that it despawns, and that's how you dodge it. It's really funny. Want to make sure you get that checkpoint, especially if you skip the other one, because you don't want to like fuck up at the end and then go like 2 checkpoints back. I don't know why I keep doing this, but when you go back, you know, it's like, you know, you don't want to be on the left there. If you're on the left, it's really, yeah, you'll fuck yourself. I was too busy doing this and looking at the webcam and seeing how stupid I look, and I forgot what I was... Never take... You don't want to take your eyes off the screen. And even though I'm doing that right now by looking at the webcam, you don't want to do it. You just don't. Alright, so... Again, you just gotta know what's up. When these doors rise up, you just have to know what's going on. It really is just trial and error. You will get better no matter what. If you're playing this game for the first time, or like the third time, or like the 17th time, just know that you'll always get better. Every consecutive playthrough, it's one of those... Perfect. I'm glad that happened. Because... Okay, let me explain this. So, the game will literally randomly break. Like I said this before, I've gone through the floor. I'm glad I went through the floor earlier, because I've never seen that, and I thought it was funny as fuck, so I'm glad that happened. But you can hit things without touching them. And this goes back to what I was talking about, the hitboxes just being complete garbage. Like, for example, I literally was not touching the wall, but I died and hit the wall anyway. It's a thing. It just happens. And you have to brace for impact. Like, even if you're playing perfectly, you'll probably die at some point. Maybe not at some point in every playthrough. I've definitely done runs where I know nothing bad happens, but at some point you will, you know, you'll hit nothing. You will literally get killed by nothing. I'm just letting you know this right now, so that if it does happen, you're not like, ooh, you know, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to, that's not something you want to do. Alright, so the third level is a boss level. The boss will be in front of you and will throw boxes out of you. Really, this is trial and error. You're going to get better the more you do it. You just got to know. And there is one thing I will say. So you can go slow by zigzagging, but you don't want to do that because then you'll fuck up where you're lined up. So I do usually take an intentional death here, and I'll show you when I do that. And that's not me setting myself up to die on accident, which is really funny if I were to do that, but I'm not doing that. This is an actual tutelage moment. So you see that checkpoint? After the second checkpoint, I will usually kill myself. And the reason is because, as you notice, you see yourself inching closer and closer and closer. Okay, I fucked up. You see yourself inching closer and closer and closer to the boss, and you get to a point where you literally cannot see what's in front of you at all, and that you will die. Like, even if you know exactly what the layout is, you'll still die. So I usually take an intentional death on the second checkpoint, but I died earlier, and so now I don't really need to. So I kind of fucked up the demonstration, but just take my word for it. You want to, like, get that second checkpoint and then run off the course immediately. As you see, I'm getting really close. I probably still should have taken it just for... And then they speed up right there. So if I didn't take any death at all and just started from the beginning, I probably would have just had my entire camera blocked. So just keep that in mind. You want to take a death there at some point. Now, again, you can do it without doing a death, but you want your chances to be in like the 90% range. And when you don't take a death, your chances go down to like the 5% range. I'm going to drink some water. Okay. I just belched, but I kept my mouth closed to reduce the grossness factor. And then I'll make sure the gaseous material that was trying to escape my body stayed inside. I'm locking them in a prison. So this is the shocking truth. These two levels are okay. If you haven't played this game yet, I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just right now, I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know. You want to do what I do, and then also do it better. Because chances are I'm going to fuck up like a dumb motherfucker, which, you know, usually happens. You want to wait for these cycles. You do have a hard hat, so keep in mind you can take a hit here. So, you want to wait here, and then you want to run through. Or you can just take a hit and waste your hard hat. But you do have a hard hat, so you can take a hit and run through. Or you can keep your hard hat. For accidents. You don't want to run there, because that thing will usually spawn right as you're about to get off. So you You don't want to do that. It looks enticing, I know, but you can try, but you don't. These little bolts of lightning will just basically spawn semi-randomly. So when they're not on, basically you just want to haul fucking ass. You just want to go as fast as you fucking can to get the fuck out of there. You want to land here and then go on this platform as it's rising, because then you save a little bit of time. You see this little box in the middle that gets you the spring? Boingy, boingy! And that lets you basically go over a lot of these little lightning bolts. Makes things a little bit easier. Yeah, when that thing's despawned, you wanna... It's possible it's possible for these platforms not to spawn. If that happens, like, waddle around and hope you hit the trigger because you maybe missed it, or you might have to kill yourself. You can make this jump with the hard hat, and it can proxy you forward into the exit. And you can also trigger the exit from dying. So if you fall, always try to hold up, just because if you miss the platform, if you jump too early something, always hold up. Do not give up, because you can die and hit the exit trigger and will still end the level. Helpful hint. So the shocking truth 2 is... The shocking truth 2 is a lot more annoying. If you don't die there, then that cycle will be harder to hit. So dying there is actually... It's not intentional. It's kind of like, you know, you can do whatever you want. These cycles are annoying. There is one intentional death in this level, and then probably 17 unintentional deaths. And they're just built into the level, so just understand that. You want to wait here. You want to wait for the platforms to completely go to a stop before you jump off, because if that happens...
Oops.
Because if that happens, like, the way I mentioned before is momentum conservation. The way that, like, you'll jump off and basically fling off the map, like, it'll happen. So you want to try as much as you can to wait for those platforms to be at a complete stop if you're jumping off of them. And the ones that are always moving, you'll notice that, you know, the way that they go. The left here might be faster, but it's also more difficult, so you can pick your poison on these. I could have gone there, but I'm just taking the safe route. Better safe than sorry. Right there, you don't want to jump off, you just want to slide off. Right there, you can make that. It is makeable, but it's hard, so keep that in mind. So, there's a checkpoint right there. If you want, you can die, and then see if the cycle is more favorable. I like taking that path. It's slightly faster if you don't have to end up waiting there, so. I take the right path on this one because the left path is just annoying. And you get a hard hat out of it, so like, even if you do land on there on a bad cycle, you get a hard hat. That one gives you the spring. You want to make sure you get the spring because it makes this way, way more simple. Ugh, Jesus Christ, sometimes. So, I'm trying to figure out how to explain these things, those things. I'm trying, okay? I don't know.
Oops.
Ah, nice.
Uh-oh.
Nice. This is where I would take...
Uh-oh.
Momentum just doesn't work in this game. This is where I would take an intentional death because it always makes the platform spawn right next to you. But if you're fast enough, you can maybe catch it as it's leaving. It is possible. I've done it before. So you can usually go for it, and if you fail, you'll die. And if you'll die, you know, it will spawn the platform right at the start. So it's one of those things where you can just go for the death, and then maybe save a second from not, like, flinging outward, you know? You can maybe go for that, or you can, you know, just try, and then maybe you'll get the skip, and then it'll be worth it. Also, I went on that way too soon. I don't recommend trying that. That's really hard. I recommend waiting. I also don't recommend playing this game, so keep that in mind. Save time. Oh shit. I really should just try to get the record in this game. The thing about getting the record in this game is I'm about a minute off. And I can save a minute on that level alone. Like 49 seconds is my best segment, but like I can save more than that. But it's just like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that. This, you want to do this exactly how I do it. There's a method. So you want to jump over, and then halfway through, go to the left, go to the middle.
Oops.
That was a little too slow. Okay, so you can kill this guy in one cycle. I'm doing it again. It's like an instant replay. That's what I'm doing. Instant replay, like it's a football game. So you want to jump over, and then halfway, you want to jump, use the momentum, hop back and forth. And then I jump again on the cylinders for timing, and then you jump over there, and then you're done. It's over. I beat the game. See, it's literally in the bag. I gotta take the game out of the bag because I need to put it away. And then you get treated, because the timing ends as soon as you finish the level. Always watch the final cutscene. I gotta really pee, but the cutscene's so good. Just watch the cutscene. Just watch it.
Get out of town and don't even think of coming back, was how he put it.
Details, details. Just promise me this. Next time you decide to leave a pack of tiny, hysterical snack items in charge of vital operations, run it by me first!
It's a black and white manual?
Said they're really sorry. They want to make it up to us.
But of course, you told them that would not be necessary. That is what you told them, isn't it? Because as for me, I don't want to see another minis as long as I live. And I won't have to, right? I mean, it's not as if they're running the cruise ship or anything, because that would be terrible. I mean, you didn't leave the minis in charge of the cruise ship. Say something, my peanutty pal. You didn't leave the minis in charge of the cruise ship. Ah! What's wrong with you? Do you consider thinking an extreme sport? Is there a brain in there with that oversized nut of yours?
The minis aren't
official
that bad.
licensed
All
product?
they need is a chance.
I'll give you a chance. When I throw you overboard, I won't aim for the biggest shark. 3 weeks on the cruise ship of catastrophe.
I hear the shuffleboard is state of the art.
Go away from me!
I like how there's like...
We can talk about this, can't we, little buddy? I mean, you and me, we can always talk, right? Red.
What?
Little Minnie's guy wants to borrow your drink umbrella.
I like how there's like voice attenuation or whatever, or like the music in between the lines will go up and down and up and down. It's really annoying. One thing I do like about this game, I want to say, that there's no advertising. If you know PS1 games, you know that there's usually advertising either right here or right here on the back of the manual, and there is no advertising. And that is probably because it is an official licensed product. Anyway, I'm going to throw this game out my window. Thanks for watching.